I'm Rod Genders from Genders and Partners Solicitors, the oldest law firm in South Australia. And in this video, I'll help you to find a great wills and estates lawyer. Even if you know a good lawyer, they might not specialise in the area of law that you require. So, which area of law are you looking at? The one that you're looking for is wills and estates, and this includes wills and estate planning, powers of attorney, advanced care directives, trusts, guardianships, elder law, probate, administration of deceased estates, contested wills, challenges to estates, capacity issues, and guardianship board hearings. Now, the first thing you want to do is find a specialist in this area of law. Lawyers are not one size fits all. If you have a serious medical problem, you're going to want to see a specialist. Well, the same thing happens in the law. And the law is vast, so there are lots of different specialties. Make sure you select a lawyer who specialises in the right area of law for your particular problem. Don't just go for the one geographically closest to you, and don't just use the lawyer who handled your divorce or your uncle's drink driving charge. Now, if you know any lawyers personally and you can trust them to not simply just recommend their own firm for everything, then ask for a referral to 2 or 3 individual lawyers who specialise in wills and estates. And get referrals to individual lawyers rather than to law firms, because there can be a lot of variability in the quality of work from different individuals at the same firm. Sometimes the reputation of a firm is largely based on the work of a specific lawyer who's no longer there. Get a personal recommendation from a friend or family member who's had a similar legal issue. Ask them if they were happy with the lawyer that they used. Do online searches. That's a great place to start. A simple Google search can show you a lawyer's company Facebook page and lawyer reviews, and this will allow you to look at both the law firm and the individual lawyer. And you can also check out the online reviews. The more stars the better, the more reviews the better. You can review the lawyer's website, which will typically have an About Us section, and you can check their profile and find out which law school they went to and their areas of specialty, that sort of thing. A lot of law firm websites will have an FAQ section, frequently asked questions, and that can answer a lot of the questions that you might be experiencing of a general nature about the sort of issue that you're confronting. Website bios, as we've already talked about, there'll be a lot of information there. Have a look at each lawyer's educational background and work history. LinkedIn is a really good place to start, because that's like a CV or resume for people as to what they've done in their work history. Experience definitely counts. You don't want to be paying for a lawyer's expensive legal education for your money. So find one that's already been through the mill and learnt what they need to learn. So you're really looking for a lawyer with a minimum of 5 years experience in this area, not just general law that doesn't apply to your particular matter. So more experience generally is better. There are lawyer referral sites that you can look at. They can be helpful, but very few of them actually review the lawyer's education and experience, or their track record, or their availability, and some of them are even just paid services for lawyers to promote themselves. So you might want to be cautious about the referral sites. It's important to make sure that you're comfortable with the lawyer you choose. So an initial phone call or consultation is a really good idea. You don't want them to feel alien to you. They've got to be a good fit. Do they sound genuine? Are they knowledgeable about your areas of law? Do they give you confidence that they can assist you? The next one will be, do you choose an independent lawyer or a large law firm? There are advantages to both, but typically in wills and estates, you're better off with an independent specialist practitioner. They tend to be highly focused, keep up with the latest developments, and with smaller office overheads, their fees tend to be more reasonable than a similarly experienced lawyer in a larger firm. What are some questions to ask a lawyer? Well, there's quite a few, and the first would be, do you specialise in wills and estates? If they say no, or if they sort of fudge it a bit, they're probably a generalist lawyer, where they just pretty much do anything that walks through the door, in which case they can't possibly keep up with all of the latest developments and best practices, and you may be better served by moving on. You should ask how long they've been specialising and how long have they been practising in this precise area of law. Ask them if they've handled a matter like yours before. If there's anything a little bit unusual about your matter, you want to know that they've already been through the mill and know what to do. Ask them about their legal fees. You know, you've got to understand what you're going to be up for so that there are no surprises. And in the area of wills and estates, many of the better lawyers will offer a range of billing options, typically including some fixed fee options as well as hourly rate plans. If they seem nervous about discussing their fees, you might want to think about moving on to the next candidate. Ideally, try to get them to put their fee structure in writing, say in an email, so that you can refer back to it later or compare it with others. The really competent and efficient specialists will gladly provide that sort of information, and the best of them will volunteer it without you even asking. Ask them how they're going to communicate with you regarding your matter, because you want to be kept informed of the status of your matter. Ask them how they plan to communicate with you and how often you'll hear from them. Email nowadays is generally preferred by most specialists as it avoids the dreaded phone tag and any ambiguity, and it provides a clear written record of what's been discussed for later reference. It's fast, it's secure nowadays and efficient. Be cautious about lawyers who say they only correspond by old-fashioned snail mail, because the turnaround time for that sort of correspondence is weeks nowadays. A good lawyer will suggest other, perhaps related matters for your consideration. Don't fetter a specialist by assuming that you already know everything that you want. The very fact that you need specialist legal advice and representation probably means you don't know enough about it to know exactly what you need. So ask them, is there anything else I should be considering? Ask them how long the matter's likely to take. They should be able to give you some rough sort of profile or estimate. Ask them about their availability. Are they too busy to look at your matter for months to come? Ask who the primary lawyer will be having conduct of your matter. Who will be the primary contact? Are you mostly going to hear from an assistant or a junior colleague? This is one of the things about large law firms. You might see the really experienced lawyer who's a partner of the firm initially at the first meeting, and forever after you only get to deal with the junior associate or the secretary. And that's something that you should be aware of. So look, there are thousands of lawyers in Australia, but very few of them truly specialise in wills and estates. Lots of them will, have a go at making a will for you, but do you really want to entrust your family's future to that? Or would you prefer to have the peace of mind that comes from specialist legal advice and representation? This is a specialised area of law. Now, if you pay peanuts, you're likely to get monkeys. So you might like to consider my firm, Genders and Partners. It is the oldest law firm in South Australia, established in 1848. So at the time of making this video, it's over 170 years old, of continuous service to South Australian families. And we specialise only in trusts, wills and estates. So we stick to our knitting. We're very good at what we do. We'd love to assist you.